really want to know, PlayStation is selling more than PC and Xbox combined, but
it's not selling more than PC. You get that shit out the window, nigga. I'll pull up some research right now. I'll pull up some research right now, nigga.
Yeah, but you can't even find a PlayStation 5 to get easily. You can easily
because they're not selling them because they're selling so much. They can't even produce any.
Exactly. Yeah, they're selling.
They're
so
not
much,
selling more than PCs.
Any gaming console there is.
PS5 sales almost hit 20 million. You can look at the stream if you want to verify my fucking research, nigga. And this is
I'm not saying PS5 only. I said PlayStation in general, because you talking about.
I'm talking about overall. You said every console.
Yeah, I'm talking about overall. PlayStation is sold more than any console.
No. PS5 sales almost hit 20 million, but Switch remains best-selling console. Nintendo cannot sell
best-selling console.
Yes, best-selling console.
You can't be best-selling console if you don't sell more than the other consoles.
Nigga, Switch is one of the biggest consoles in the world.
How many did they sold? Let me
read it. Let me read it, nigga.
Nintendo is one of the biggest consoles in the world, bro.
Nigga, you can't even touch Nintendo.
I didn't say it isn't. I said PlayStation sell more than Nintendo. They sold more than Nintendo.
Alright, bro, let me read the article.
No, tell me then. Tell me how many Nintendo sold right now.
It's gonna say it if I read the article, nigga. Let me read the article. Nintendo cannot sell the Switch console fast enough, according to VG charts. The company has surpassed 107.19 million units in its lifetime. In the past few weeks, have proven to be a huge success for Nintendo.
107,
which is come to console sales compared to PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. Nintendo managed to keep 2,700k units for the week ending of 23 April 2022, leaving Sony and Microsoft trailing behind. Keep in mind that PS5 is still incredibly tough to get a hold of, so it's possible to see people are buying Nintendo consoles instead, nigga. And this was in April 2022. The PlayStation 5 sold 173k units during the same period, pushing Sony sales to 19.06 million since its launch back in 2020. The Xbox Series X sold 151k during the same period, is now sitting at 14.32 million lifetime sales. But they're trailing way behind Microsoft. Nintendo.
How long have Nintendo? How many? You said 107 million, right? Units they sold.
Yes.
Nintendo.
Yes.
Dude, PlayStation 2 alone sold 157 million, my guy.
Bro, I just said the million. 19.06 million. That's how much they made back. 19.06 million since 2020 when it launched. That's how much they made overall.
PlayStation 2 itself made 157 million, my guy. Not 100, not point. There's no points. It's 100
in the same period. They're talking about from the same period. They're talking about from April.
No, you said ultimately Nintendo's grandfather did better. They sold more. No, they didn't. PlayStation sold more than any.
Bro, they're trailing. Nintendo is ahead of these niggas, and PC is way above that.
You just said Nintendo has 100. You said.
Hey, don't even take my word. Just come to the article, bro. Bro, don't even take what I just said. Just come to the article and read it for yourself. The lack of console stock is a major contributing factor for that. Nigga, you said you couldn't get any. Nigga, they can't even make any because they're losing stock.
Because they can't make any because they keep getting sold out. That stuff is.
But look though, when I was reading it,
Nintendo
it says,
didn't get sold out.
But when I was reading it, it says PS5 is still incredibly tough to get. People can't even get them, so they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna just get a Switch instead. Wow,
yeah, there you go. What? Because Switch is
what
more
the article said.
Available. Because look, why? Because it's more available, right? Now let's say both of them are available at the same time. Guess how much is gonna make more? Exactly.
I don't know, bro. It could be equal. I'm not gonna lie, my guy.
Listen. Okay, no. You can't say equal because they would have been equal right now.
Listen, bro. Because when you think about Nintendo, bro, Nintendo is like. Hold on, you can say.
It can't sell it as fast. It's still making way more.
You can't sell more.
And mind you, too, the games, bro. Nintendo got heavy.
Nintendo is nostalgia.
They got
like
hits, nigga.
People will love Nintendo based off of like nostalgia, like
games. You can't be trying to bring that.
We're talking about the consoles overall. You're comparing the consoles, so we're bringing all of it overall.
I'm not talking about they got kid games just for kids. I don't care who is it for. We talking about who makes more.
It's not just for kids though.
Yeah, we're talking about who makes more. The reason why they make more is based off what they have, the people that buying the consoles, and what they can do with them over time. Nintendo, their Switch, you can play backward capability games. No, hold on. The Switch can play backward compatibility games. They can play games from the fucking Dreamcast and all that old shit. Nigga,
Yeah, you can
PS5
play
can't even do
games
that.
all the way back from the NES, bro.
Dude, have Nintendo been sold out? Yes or no?
Bro, nigga, I just read you the
Why?
article. There's a reason why you guys are sold out. Cause you're stuck. You guys can't even make enough. You guys
That
can't
is
even
what
make
the article
enough.
says, bro.
Because
The article do say that.
Why?
Bro.
Do you understand why they can't make it? It's because they keep getting sold out so fast.
But if they keep selling out fast, then why aren't they making more? Like
Exactly.
I don't know, bro. If they keep selling out, why can't they make more?
Exactly.
Like,
if
that
they
doesn't
selling
make any
out,
sense.
you don't think Nintendo and Xbox wouldn't sell it as well too? Like, what are you talking about?
Obviously, the reason why they can't make more is obviously because the freaking pandemic is in the way. Can't you tell?
Pandemic, bro.
That's why
They're
I
making
said-
just as much as them, and Nintendo's making more. I literally just told you in the lifespan from April 2022. Sony, Microsoft still trailing behind. Keep in mind, PS5 is still hard to get. People seem to buy switching instead. Right there.
The reason why it's sold out, like I said. Now hold on, because you're saying that sold out. Dude, sold out is
I'm
a
reading
big
the
thing.
article, nigga. I'm reading the
That means
article.
that
This is not off
It's
my
like
top.
something-
I'm reading the article, nigga.
I'm not
Don't take it with me. Take it with the article, nigga.
I'm not talking about the
I'm
article.
talking about the article. What I just said.
you
You're
can talk
taking
about
what
the
I
article, but
said.
listen.
I'm saying the article, nigga.
Do you know
don't
what
contradict
selling
yourself.
out means?
Don't
If
contradict
something
yourself.
sells out, what does that mean? A good or a bad thing? If something sells out, does that
It
mean
could be-
that they like it, right?
It's both good
It
and
could
bad.
be both, bro. Because
What do you mean
like,
it could be
listen.
both? What do you-
You could
something
sell
sold
out of something, right? Because you don't have enough, and because you
Yeah,
don't have
but-
enough, you can't make more. Like you just can't because
No,
you already
that's not
sold
what-
out. So it's like you have to use what you already got. Like you can have, let's say
That's if
I'm
you don't
selling
have
5
money,
apples,
my
right?
guy.
Let's say I'm selling 5 apples. I sell out of 5 apples, bro. How you gonna get the other? How you gonna get more? How you gonna get more apples?
But mainly what I was trying to say is that Nintendo has been in the lead running since April to now. We're comparing from this
It
year to
literally
now.
says Nintendo
And also
has
too-
107 million.
Can I finish
units.
my point, bruh? Okay, so
Go ahead.
look, I'm saying from April to now. And also too, the point behind when you were saying they couldn't sell, that's a bad thing on them. Cause look, if no one can get your product, you're not selling anything. You guys are losing money. You guys can't even make product for you guys to sell because you guys can't make any more. That can seem good in your eyes, but overall as a company, it's kind of bad for you guys. Cause you guys can't even make anything. You're not making as much money as Nintendo, because you're losing product to other consoles. Now other people are buying other consoles like Xbox and Nintendo, because no one can buy your stuff. It's rare.
You can't
That's not
sell
a good
anything
thing.
that's not there. Like it's just you just can't.
And plus two, let me read this article right here. There's another part of it, but I didn't get to finish it. In general, console sales are down when you compare the PS5 to PS4 over the same period of time. The lack of console stock is a majority contributing factor to that. The PS5 is down by over 22,000 units compared to the PS4. The Xbox Series X and S is up by 69k units compared to the same week during the console's lifetime. Yo, we just read it wrong. Bro, we just read it wrong. Alright,
Exactly.
hold on.
You read it wrong.
No. I didn't read it wrong. Teron read it wrong. So, I was right about... So, PS5 overall total sales for individually PlayStation 5s is 19 million. And Xbox Series X and S is at 14 million. Whereas Nintendo Switch is at 107 million. Almost 100 times. Not 100 times. 10 times as much as both of those consoles since 2020. And he was saying PS4 is at 114. So he's basically comparing the Switch from a generational console that came out literally 10 years ago, and the Switch hasn't been around since what? 2016, 2017? So half amount of years, and it's almost creeping up on PS4. That's what he didn't read right. That's what we're saying here.
You could creep all you want. It don't matter. If you're not there, you're not there.
But you're saying PS4 sales. Nintendo
What do you mean
still
it- what do you mean it
Nintendo
kinda
is still
does?
shitting on PS5 and Series X. I
I'm
mean,
saying,
bro,
I mean,
the Xbox Series X is only like,
sold out.
bro, the
That's
Xbox Series
why-
X is only like 3-4 million behind PlayStation 5.
It's sold out because of the pandemic. People
But no,
like I said,
I can end that point right there, nigga. I can end that point right there, nigga, because I just found an article about that. PS5 shortages to ease up and sales to overtake PS4 by 2024, Sony says. Part shortages, which have also affected console manufacturing. Sony's latest console, the PS5, have been notoriously difficult to get a hold of, and that doesn't look likely to normalize around 2024.
Nintendo.
But look, it affects PC too.
My guy.
It affects PC too. Why is it affecting PC but not Xbox or Nintendo?
It was affecting PC. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying the article, it said it affects PC. I'm saying, why doesn't it affect Sony? I mean, why doesn't it affect Xbox or Nintendo?
What are you talking about? Why it doesn't affect Xbox?
Why are they having shortages?
He's got a point.
Why are they having? Why are Sony having shortages but not the other two?
Yeah, but not the other.
They're getting more sales for the reason why.
Yeah.
The reason why for the Nintendo?
You can't say COVID. You can't say COVID.
For the Xbox, does it say it sells more? Obviously not.
I'm saying they're creeping up. I'm saying they're creeping up because they can't sell. You can't sell anything. If you're not gonna sell anything, the others are obviously gonna creep up because they're selling and you're not.
Dude, you could creep up anytime you want. It's not gonna do anything.
Bro, they're like 4 million behind. That's nothing. And plus two,
we'll see when that happens though, right? Let it creep up all it wants. But if it's not there, it's not there, my guy.
Also too, when I read the other article, I was saying from the sales from April 23rd, 2022, Nintendo was top on those sales.
Yeah, because the PlayStation was obviously hard to get.
Because they can't sell anything.
They can't sell anything, bro.
Why you
That's
think
literally
that?
the point.
Do you understand what I just said earlier?
Hold on, let me finish.
Don't say COVID, because if that was the case, then Nintendo would be struggling too, bro.
Oh, Nintendo,
they wouldn't be able to really sell as much as they were before.
Nintendo has nothing against PS5.
Bro, you're going off other derivatives. You're going off derivatives to compare other things. Bro, you're going off
what specs are what makes the console.
No one cares about specs.
No one really cares about it.
No one cares about that too.
Obviously the manufacturers, that's
obviously the manufacturers. That doesn't equate to sales, my nigga. That doesn't equate to sales.
No one else cares, obviously, then they won't get the console, my guy.
That's exactly what's happening. No one's getting the console.
Yeah, because the pandemic is hard to get the freaking specs, bro. These specs are not easy.
But the pandemic is
But look though, the real key thing here is
2 years ago. Like they should.
I wasn't trying to add to the fact.
I'm not talking about the pandemic is still affecting it the way it did constantly. I'm saying that if something scars you, you think it's just gonna freaking disappear in 2 years, my guy? It's a scar that happens.
Everywhere else seemed like it did.
The pandemic made a scar, did not?
I'm not saying it didn't.
Okay, you say the pandemic a lot. You really mentioned. Can I add something? You want me to state something that defeats your whole purpose with this COVID thing you keep saying? If you apply that COVID junk that you say, oh, they don't have enough chips because of COVID, right? That's your point, right?
Yeah, COVID made it harder to get these specs out, bro, and put it in their freaking console.
All right, if you say
you think they would just if the Nintendo had this type of specs, they would easily just be, pushing it out like that? Obviously not.
So you're saying that COVID is the majority key reason factor of why they can't make more chips than these other consoles, and it's not affecting them as well too?
Dude, it's obviously affected probably Xbox, yeah, but if we're talking about Xbox compared to PlayStation, you
don't think COVID affected them just as much as they did too?
I'm pretty sure.
So saying COVID for just PlayStation, it's invalid because it applies to all three of them as well too.
What are you talking about? I'm not saying none of them didn't.
You can't really say this COVID junk.
Bro, did Xbox sold out? No. Okay. If nothing sold out, then with the pandemic, it could hit it, whatever is cool, but it would still be good.
You guys are selling out from chips, but you're saying they're selling out chips because of COVID. Why aren't Xbox selling out because of chips? Or
Nintendo? It's hard to get these specs because of COVID. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to get these specs because of COVID. Now, if we're talking about the reason why, they can't do it, yeah, it's because of COVID. But I'm saying that plays a fat role into why they can't, dish it out as much as the other consoles, because the specs is hard to get of these freaking the pandemic stuff, because the freaking people are all over the place, except for the office. They're remote, bruh. So that makes it hard for the for people to communicate. It's just a lot going on, bro. But the PS5 somehow still got sold out. They still love the PS5.
You know why? You know why?
No more. They're going down the Nintendo.
You know why, Go? Because quality is not everything, my nigga. Quality doesn't mean anything. Because you can't even use all that quality if these developers don't even use it all in their games. That's not what people want. People want different things in their games. People want certain things. And these certain things are in these other consoles. And they're putting it in their games. And also, too.
Did you not just say what you just said earlier? Obviously, we know about preferences, but you just said the reason why you said, "Oh, they left PS5 because there's no more, so they're gonna go on to Nintendo." Nintendo's second place. They second option. Okay,
these I got the sales right here. They're not second place. I got the sales right here. From May 1st to May 7th.
The total sales.
Total sales
right now.
Lifetime.
Total sales.
You want the lifetime of each console? You want the lifetime of each console?
Oh, wasn't we just talking about that?
So the Switch.
Yes, look at it.
All right. So the Switch sold 107.66 million units lifetime, and from the week ending May 7th, they sold 291,000 units that week. So that's Nintendo's right there. PS5 sold 155,000 units in that same week to their overall sales, which is 19.62 million overall. So they have 19.62 million overall, and they sold 155,000 from May 1st to May 7th.
Nintendo damn near doubled their sales in the same week. That's
exactly.
Tough.
Their specs is easy to make. They could probably.
But you can't go off that tangent saying it's easy to make for the reason them not to get it.
No, I'm not saying for the reason for them not to get it. It's a second option, like I said.
Bro, we all know the real issue is the chip. That's their real problem. It's their downfall. Yeah, but you're running away from that fact.
I'm not saying what you call the chip is not what's making the issue. I'm just saying take that pandemic out.
None of this sales said pandemic. You can't say pandemic. Pandemic applies to all three of them.
Yeah.
Listen, you're not hearing what I'm saying. Pandemic, yes, it plays a big role, but selling out. Do you understand? They're still selling out. And PlayStation 5 is still selling out. Tell me
how are they selling out in the Switch and PlayStation and Sony not selling out?
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
It's because of their chips. We're going around in circles here. We keep saying the same stuff. But I didn't even get to say the other article. I just said the sales right here. I just wanted to tell you the sales again. But this is the real article I wanted to tell you. What is causing the PS5, Xbox Series X, Nintendo chip shortages? This is what I was really trying to tell you, because you keep saying COVID. And I was trying to say it applies to all of them. In the tech world, any number of issues can cause a component shortage, lack of manpower, dwindling resources. It doesn't take much. The cause of this particular shortage is a combination rise demand, already depleted, stock further impacted by the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. It applies all three of them. We try to tell you this for multiple times, but you said PlayStation 5. I digress.
What are you talking about?
I digress. Hold up. Most people took notice of the chip shortage when COVID-19 swept across the globe. Many organizations shut down in an attempt to stem the disease spread, including electronic components factories that produce semiconductor key to modern game consoles. Understandably, that decision ground manufacturing to a halt. After all, you cannot exactly produce semiconductors if nobody is there to work. Even after factory floors opened, everyone had to obey new rules that made it difficult, often impossible, for companies to match their peak pre-pandemic levels. However, it's not really fair to put all the blame on the pandemic in particular instance. When it comes to this recent chip shortage, COVID-19 was just a straw that broke the camel's back. It applied to all three of them.
You can apply all these things, like I said earlier. They all been through the same thing, right?
You can't say COVID anymore.
You've been trying to tell me.
You can't say COVID anymore. That's
what do you mean I can't say COVID anymore? Did they not just talk about COVID? It didn't. Obviously, it didn't say that's number one reason, but it said it plays a big part, right?
Yes, in all three of them, because no one could have worked, and it affected their pre-pandemic levels. You were saying that only for PS5. We were saying it applied to all three of them, so you can't really say that Because it affects all three of them.
Literally 5 minutes ago, I just said all of them been through together. Let's say all of them been through together. They all been through the COVID tolls. They all took the same toll, right? Didn't I just say that earlier? All of them took the same toll. If that's the case, that's cool. I'm gonna agree. Then answer this question: why is PS5 the only console being sold out when it comes to Nintendo and Xbox? Those consoles, want to compare those? Why is it the PS5?
No one's getting them. They have better chances of getting these other consoles because it's not about high specs. It comes down to preference at the end of the day. So you can't really force that upon someone saying, why isn't they getting PS5? Why isn't anybody getting Series X? That's up to the person. But that's reflecting off sales. We're saying that.
Dude, I literally just said, I understand preferences. Okay. I'm not trying to judge no one's preference. I'm just saying, why is it that it shows PS5 is sold out, and everyone knows PS5 is sold out, but everyone still knows that's the only console sold out? Why is that?
You're saying it's sold out, bro. We literally just said COVID, and they all had shortages.
Yeah,
and you're saying they're selling out.
Was part of my,
but how was Nintendo top? How was Nintendo top in the past 2 months?
That was part of my point. I literally said the reason, one of the biggest reasons they didn't sell as much as a Nintendo is because of freaking COVID. They have to adjust and remote.
They're all getting hit with COVID. They're all affected with COVID. We were trying to end that decision and try to say you can't do that. You exclude that. We're not using that excuse to say COVID because if you say COVID,
all affected.
Exactly. You can't just say, "Oh, dude, COVID." They could make chicks because COVID. Itoki is unsure if the company will ever be Gamer D.
But because it plays a part for all three of them, it doesn't matter.
This man is in a gulag right now. So you know who Hiroki Totoki? You know who that is, right? That's the Sony chief financial officer. So what he said was, Totoki is unsure if the company will ever meet gamer demand. You know why he said that?
Dude, because a lot of people want that PS5, my guy. Obviously.
They can't make it nearly as much chips, bruh.
Yeah.
And that's affecting their price.
Did he explain why though? Obviously, it's gonna affect their price. I'm not talking about their price, bro. I'm not talking about what you call it.
I'm talking about sales. I'm gonna say sales.
I know that. I'm not talking about the effect that is happening. I'm talking about the pandemic. If you get that out the way, bro.
I'm sorry, Gum. If pandemic was out the way, they would still have shortages, bro.
I think
they won't have shortages because listen, if that's the case, then
remember, demand. People are gonna get that.
Look at the screenshot I sent you. Why did they have shortages for that time? That time period. I sent you screenshots on the chat, bro. Look what it says, PlayStation 4, 117. They didn't get no pandemic at that time, right? So tell me this.
Are you talking about PlayStation 4? You're talking about PlayStation 4? This nigga complaining about 4.
PlayStation 4, there's no pandemic. PS5, there's pandemic. Obviously, I'm talking about...
You know how long PS4 been around for? That's 10 years. First of all, Nintendo Switch haven't been around for 10 years. That was literally... I can't even say anything because you just gripped that off Wikipedia and there's no real data and timeline between each of those time periods. And Nintendo hasn't even been on for at least 10 years.
Bro, first of all...
So you can't really compare.
If you want to talk about certain freaking months and stuff, I'm talking about total.
Overall, yeah, you're saying total. Overall, PlayStation 4 been around longer than how long Switch been on. But that's actually good. That's actually good.
Then in 10 years, Nintendo has a chance to be probably double how much they just made on the PlayStation 4 in 10 years, bro.
That's just a theory.
But look, you're stooping down. Why are you stooping down? Now you're just Goom. Hold on. Wait. You're stooping down. Why are you switching to 4 now? Why are you switching to PS4 now? Now the PS5 debate's done.
I'm not switching to both. I said all. Bro, this dude not paying attention? Teron, did I not just say I'm talking about all PlayStations?
No, but that's 4.
PlayStation in general.
You talking about 5. I just literally explained myself, confirmed how many times Teron heard it.
No. He did say it. He did say it, Kier. He did say it.
Goofy, bruh.
But my argument is, if we're talking about PlayStation as a whole, then Nintendo it's technically beating them at this point, bruh.
You can't say he's beating them when the numbers.
Listen. But it's inevitable that it's going to happen, though. It's inevitable. It's literally inevitable. The article that we just read literally said that they're never going to be able to meet demands, right? So if that's the case, that means Nintendo Switch is going to rise, which means it's going to be more than the PlayStation 4 sales, which sold over a span of 10 years, which means they're probably going to double, if not double, then probably like a quarter more than what PlayStation 4 made within that 10 years. They're going to make more. Like, than PlayStation did. That's not a theory. That's fact. At least within a certain period of time, which means Nintendo Switch is going to keep selling. Nintendo Switch is going to probably double PlayStation 4 numbers within that span of 10 years. Which means Nintendo as a whole oversold PlayStation 4.
Just because he said I can't reach demands, that does not mean I will have to reach more than it could be the demands he's talking about. It could be probably less than Nintendo or whatever. The demands is not a specific. It doesn't have to be more than a Nintendo.
But it kind of has to, right? It kind of has to in order to keep going, in order to keep selling, right?
Dude, talking about demands from the consumer's perspective. Consumers are the demands, bro. Consumers
have enough supply to meet those demands, my guy.
They not make more, so they're gonna get outsold by Nintendo. They're getting outsold by Nintendo as we speak, bro.
Y'all know what's funny? So from 2022, from year to date, so since this past, I say it's about to be July. So in the last 7 months, Nintendo has the most with 5.6 million this year. And coming at second is Xbox with 2.7 million. And last place is PS5 with 2.6.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like that's there it is right there. Debate over. I'm sorry, but that's just what it is.
PS5 got 2.6. Their last place, Xbox Series X and S got 2.7. And then Nintendo got 5.6 from this year. Stop. That's tough.
That can easily change. Tables can turn.
Huh?
The tables can easily turn.
But how if they can't sell more product? They literally just said in an article
they can't sell it right now.
They don't know if they're gonna be able to meet demand. So how can they sell more of something they don't have?
Oh man!
I'll put Nintendo. I'll put Nintendo right here. Nintendo, Xbox. This is PS5. They in last place, bro. They struggling, bro. They struggling.
They are, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it really doesn't matter anyway. Like, because they said that they're unsure how long it's gonna take until they can meet them. Nintendo's gonna rise to the top because Nintendo is selling more because they can sell.